Okay, so by the end of this video, you will understand how you can craft cold outreach that truly sounds human. We're now in this era of AI and automation where we're sending out infinitely more messages than ever before, and we're all using the same AI and tools to craft our messaging. So a lot of it all looks the same. So this is more important than ever. We're going to break this lesson down into 3 key components. Firstly, we're going to look into how you can personalize your outreach so it sounds human. Second, we're going to look into the elements that you need to remove from your outreach because it indicates it's an AI-generated message. Thirdly, and finally, we're going to look into humbling disclaimers. Firstly, what is personalization? It is when we reference details regarding the buyer to make our outreach seem personal and relevant. And that takes place at either the persona level, i.e. details regarding the individual we're targeting, or at the account level, i.e. details regarding the company we're targeting. And most salespeople just consider personalization as a box that needs to be ticked, and as a result, their outreach lacks cohesion and authenticity and attention to detail. Personalizing your outreach is a real art, and it requires finesse and subtlety. So how do you go about doing that? 3 ideas. 1, if you're referencing my company name or my first name or any of those core personalization points, just please, for the love of God, make sure that you clean those names. For example, some first name variables might have the middle name, or some company names might have an emoji, or some company names might be stated as the official name in which they've registered the company, which would be unnatural to address that name in the outreach, right? You need to use AI to review all of those key personalization points and clean them. In the caption, I'm going to provide a link to a resource with everything you need to know when it comes to prompting, but make sure you clean those key variables. On LinkedIn, I deliberately include an emoji in my first name and my company name to act as a filter for low quality outreach and therefore low quality providers. If someone targets me and they haven't removed the emoji from my name, it signals their lack of attention to detail, and it indicates they're probably not the best person to do business with. You can take this one step further by actually alluding to those personalization points a little more indirectly, or just like translating them, rewriting them. So let me give you some examples. I run a company called Optimize. First step is to remove the emoji, but how you can take that one step further is address my company name by abbreviating it to just SO in capitals. If someone targeted me taking that approach, it would immediately engage me because it would seem super personal. Or alluding to my job title indirectly, rather than saying, I notice you're the founder at SO, you could say, I notice you're heading up SO. That is a really great, powerful way to make your outreach seem super personal. Second idea within personalization is all about compliments. So complimenting is okay, it's good. It drives positive sentiment and it helps reduce buyer defensiveness and skepticism, which is their default state of mind whenever they receive cold outreach. However, don't overdo it. Just contain the enthusiasm. Don't make it front and center, right? I get cold outreach all the time that opens with, hi Pen, huge congrats on XYZ, or hi Pen, really inspired by your mission to do whatever. It's super vague and insincere. It diminishes your status as a provider. So you've got to incorporate it a little more subtly, both in terms of the language and the positioning. I like to include it either in the sign-off. You could say something like, either way, all the best to you and your brother conquering the GTM world. Or you could include it in the PS line, PS, nice job winning logos like Hummingbird and Lyra. We've also worked with marketing agencies. You're not only incorporating it more subtly, but the personalization points are also super specific as well and actually warrant. Third idea within personalization is what I call the law of negation. And that is the idea that when you are targeting a business through cold outreach, you ideally want to find some common ground to build immediate familiarity. The reality is that's not always going to be the case. And so you want to acknowledge that. For example, when you are targeting a business through cold outreach, you want to generally include some kind of social proof, right? Examples of other businesses that have validated your service. Now, ideally, you want to use examples of businesses you've worked with that are similar to the business you're targeting, but you're not always going to have the depth of social proof to be able to always have that alignment. Because if someone targets me and they reference a company they worked with that is wildly different to Optimize, that's going to alienate me and potentially hurt trust more than help it. However, if someone says, hi Pen, we recently worked with Tesla, and then in brackets, not exactly sales tech, but just as vibrant, it keeps me engaged, it retains that trust, and it ensures you don't diminish the weight and impact of your social proof. So that's the first principle covered, personalization. Second principle is the AI elements that you need to avoid. So there's certain elements that AI is absolutely obsessed with. I'm just going to rattle through them because you really need to remove them from your outreach. Firstly is the M dash. It's that long dash that no one ever used before AI came about. I don't even know how you generate it from your keyboard, but it's everywhere and you need to remove it. Replace it with just a comma or just even one of the shorter dashes instead. Second one, and this is probably the biggest one, is a phrase structure that AI is absolutely obsessed with. And that phrase structure goes, it's not about X, it's about Y. An example might be, it's not about booking more meetings, it's about building predictable pipeline. I see it everywhere now, and it's just infuriating to see. It's probably the number one telltale sign of AI generated copy. Get rid of it, it tries to sound too clever. Third one is cliche metaphors or just jargony language like move the needle, game changer, secret sauce, cutting edge, transform, revolutionize, enhance. Just speak like a human being. Really water down your language and use really basic language to sound human, such as help or use or try. Again, in the caption, I provide a link to a resource that is devoted to all our phrases and words to really humanize your messaging. Final lesson is the humbling disclaimer. Now, this is something that I learned when I first started working in sales 6 years ago. I learned this principle from the great Charles Mulbauer. I strongly encourage you to follow on LinkedIn. He is a sales discovery guru. What is the humbling disclaimer? It is using language, using phrases that are designed to disarm your buyer and lower their defensiveness. So some examples might include, I might be way off here, or I've no clue if this is on your radar at the moment, or I might be late to the party on this one. It's just language to almost push the buyer a little bit further away and ultimately, lower their defensiveness, like I said, because that is going to be their default state of mind whenever they're receiving or responding to cold outreach. There's zero trust there. There's zero reason why they should engage with you. So you don't want to be too assertive or too aggressive or pushy in your outreach, and using this kind of language can immediately make you seem more human and also get them to lean in and engage. So in summary, personalize your outreach elegantly, clean up those key personalization points, cut back on the enthusiasm and the flattery, remove all components that indicate it's an AI generated message. You can even ask GPT to provide you with a list of all the other components that it frequently uses as well. And then finally, use phrases, use language that mitigate against buyer skepticism, buyer defensiveness. In the captions, I'm going to provide a link to our Clay guide. Within the Clay guide, there is a section devoted to prompting and provide you with everything you need to know when it comes to prompting. I'm also going to provide a link to our cold outreach Phrasebook as well, which contains a huge library of phrases that you can incorporate into your outreach to humanize your message and maximize engagement.